Calidosos of Mercuria, Delaney, Garvey, Elijah, Lumumba, Sankara. We're in a life of death, struggle for survival. After all rivals, there'll be no reprisals. Up and down the Nile Valley, they don't understand how we built the pyramids for superior arithmetic. Whites on all fours in the woods, buried like bulls, scavengers, inhabitants of kings up in Europe. They were cannibalizing, sodomizing boys, breaking girls' hymen's. All the women were sexual toilets. When they saw the black males, they were desperate for it. When they touched down in Egypt, they could test when they saw it. The beautiful black queen, draped in the finer things, a true goddess on the throne right beside the king. And if she had to represent the castle, lasso up the elephant, propel us into battling. The blood of Africa was flowing all throughout our veins. Living quality, productive lives, fathers of engineering, magnified, the masses blind. Whips it ain't hard to find. If you look through the lens, Chancellor Williams design, destruction of the black civilization. We let them in as friends and they brought it to an end, but not before Tahuti took Moses. The ferocious, merciless, cutthroat. So at first it is invasion, enslaving of his people was he. Then he colonized the region, stopped the bleeding. All the prisoners of war he made drop to their knees and pray to Amen Ra, track to who did you believe in? There's so much carnage laying on the battlefield site. People thought this is what the final days will feel like. And this life Armageddon is remembered for bodies and mosquitoes that Tahuti left dismembered. Daughters of Amen, Ahotep, Xena, Nanny of Jamaica, Yah and Satua, Harriet Tubman, Sister Soldier, crossing through the French Alps, killing all en route, Hannibal of Carthage, demolished all Roman targets. Told his father back when he was a toddler, Dad, I'ma fight Rome until my heart collapses. He acted, flame spheres, sparking lit the atmosphere, darkness trafficking the airwaves. This was a deadly air raid. Hannibal's strategies of war for his cavalry. Let them in and circle them, to murder them, to nerve them. Thinking they could conquer men of African ties, like Calidosos of the Mercuria tribe. In this period, a period of Arabs died. I magnify your serious, but laugh inside. Slash the eye of Ahotep. She was waging war. Invading hordes came into her home, waving swords. Her nephew Ra almost came pronto to expel us in the hell. All the pure whites and mongrels. Terrified of white males, fight until you can't inhale. Queen of Zinga had the meanest demeanor, a true thinker, a true schemer. She planned battle carefully. Her men infiltrated slave traders, ranks insulated, stacks of new weaponry, swallowed in cleverly. I guess it had to be that African pedigree. Like Yah Satua, Nanny of Jamaica, known for resistant packs of cracker invaders. Nanny used white boys' teeth for bracelets. That shows you how deep her hatred had come. I pay tribute to the spirit of these warriors. Release them cause I know we'll be victorious. And zombie in Brazil killing off the Portuguese. All for nothing but the sport of it. Leave or die, Haitians faced with annihilation. No negotiation, murder Caucasians, Armageddon. Sons of Set, Tahuti Maine, Hannibal of Carthage, the immortal Nat Turner. A young boy was born October 2nd, 1800. Southampton, the master AC coming. Legend has it that his mother for a brief moment wanted to kill him, take his ability to breathe from him. A proud woman, she ain't want to see her child taken, especially with the master dishing out weapons. The elders tell her as they start looking. His body marks make a statement: if you kill him, you'll be killing greatness. He grew older, started reading through the Bible's pages, memorized the people, called him a prophet. Next started seeing visions in the clouds of a conflict, hieroglyphics encrypted with race war content. He spoke the souls from the African continent. Warriors back when Africa was dominant. Under the guise of a Christian, he embarked upon a liberation mission, preaching to the slaves that would listen. August 21st, 1831, there was a meeting in the woods for rebellion. Led by Nat Turner, slaves killed everyone. Running with the master, it was automatic. See, their sons had to go cause they broke. Women had to go cause they manufactured. manufacture oppressive crackers. Uncle Tom to the side, they get a separate action. It ain't nothing like an Uncle Tom skull cracking. This one here's for my black men. Raise your fist, soldiers. One love till it's over.
Book my daddy. Dessalines the Merciless. We pay tribute to the killers. I know I do. Cosmo September, Colin Ferguson, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Hannibal, Queen Zinga, Yao Santuwa, Michael Xavier Johnson, Christopher Dona, shout out Larry Davis, Tupac. Oh man, I love all of y'all. Anybody who took one of them out, just one. BB for Hody, yay. My beautiful African family. Black power, black power. It'll be a quick video. So the subject of this one is Mac Miller, I believe that's his name. Just recently passed from, the reports is a drug overdose. So, get it straight, number one, I'm not sure if it was an actual overdose. However, I do know that he was a drug addict. I do know in his quote-unquote line of work, most of them are drug addicts. They brag about it. They talk about it. You see them under the influence on camera, concerts and whatnot. So they're smoking and things like this on stage. So, I mean, we know that they're drug abusers, drug users. Now, this particular person was of European descent, so the chances of him being a drug addict is just that much more higher, just to be honest. He's a white male. Most of them use drugs. And most people in that line of work, they just use drugs. They're drug addicts. Now, there is a problem with the drugs, the prescription, quote-unquote, drugs. For example, you have the pills, that's one section. And then you have the so-called syrup or scissor, which is promethazine, codeine, which is cough syrup mixed with Sprite. And some people put Jolly Ranchers in it. Yes, I have drunk it before. Now, in particular, I'm talking to the black males because I know that for us, the stress of being black males in the society, it leads a lot of us to drug use, then to drug abuse and drug addiction. I myself was there. You feel me? I mean, still I have my vice, right? Which is marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it. And we know that there's, ill effects, I would say, negative side effects to smoking marijuana. Number one, once this comes into play, then it goes wrong. So any arguments of cannabis being medicinal goes out the window once you use this. So that's just a fact. Anybody doing this, you get some healing properties. However, once you're using a lighter, you automatically present danger. There's no getting out of it. So even if you're using a bong, it's still the same thing you're using a lighter. Vaping, edibles, cannabis oils or CBD oil, different topical ways to ingest the marijuana, the THC, the CBD, to get it in your bloodstream. Those are all the correct ways, your teas and things like this, right? So that's no argument. However, let's look at history real quick. When you look at the history, let me just pull it up because it's on my Instagram. I don't have the actual facts, but when it comes to marijuana, we know that there are zero deaths, in the history of it's zero deaths, overdoses in the history of the use of marijuana, right? But we do know when it comes to, oh wow, they going hard. Man, they going hard on that Ali post. Oh man, they going there. So my IG, Isaiah No Vanity. Um, Trying to find that post about opiates. So we know marijuana has zero deaths, zero overdoses. However, promethazine and syrup, we know this has killed people. Uh, um, Oxys and all of these different pain pills and prescription medication pills, opiates. Um, we know for sure that these drugs kill people. And these were the drugs that allegedly that Peckerwood overdosed on. So it's different. It's irrelevance. And I know it's based off of the rap culture and how that has so much influence on African people. Um, Based off of that, I know, and just from knowing a few personally, I know that black men, my brothers, are into those sort of dangerous drugs that are killing people. So this is the post right here. Um, Pills, right? In these states. So see where this is at. This is going from Michigan. So yeah, y'all with me? This Michigan just going all the way down south, all the way down. Here South Carolina as well, coming up here into Oklahoma. These states. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 states. 13 states. It said it's 91 deaths per day. And get this, this is what's cool. This is what's cool about the so-called prescription drugs, right? And the amount of deaths that these drugs cause daily and annually, right? This is what's cool about it. There's a large percentage, I'm not sure the exact percentage, I'm not gonna lie. I should get the actual facts for y'all, but there's a large percentage of those deaths that is from a prescription. Like, it's not like they went out and got these pills on their own and on the street. Or no, this was prescribed and it killed them. 91 deaths per day is being killed by pills in those states. 91 deaths a day. So do I believe that this Peckerwood overdose? Yes, I do. Now, there's a small caveat as far as that so-called music industry. I mean, it's so many of them, pretty much all of them, that their deaths very suspicious. Um, some we know the stories are not true. For example, an easy one like a Kurt Cobain. There's no way he blasted his damn own head off like that. That's just the ancestor Jimi Hendrix. There's no, and autopsies and things prove this. What's the ancestor? He owned his own masters. He was gonna pay for. He was gonna finance Malcolm X movement. He told Malcolm and Martin if they come together, he would finance. Change is gonna come. Damn, what's the king? Oh man, change is gonna come. What is his name? Oh man, I can't think of the brother's name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He owned his own masters. Um, and they claimed it was a suicide. They claimed his death was a suicide, and autopsy proved it wasn't. His family said it looked like he was beaten to death with bats. That's what they said at his funeral. That's what they said when they saw his body. It looked like he was beaten to death with bats. So, um, yeah, Whitney Houston, very, very suspicious. Um, yeah, and on and on. So, I'll give you that. However, it is that other side. That's the true side. And them drugs that he was in was very dangerous. Now, I had my small little stint with, being a little addicted, abusing, when I was in college. And this was before Molly was in every song. We was on the ecstasy. I mean, the Molly was, there, and he was the Molly, the Molly was there too. But it was really the E pills or the beans, the Gucci Man and these people called it. Which I was a heavy Gucci listener. Is you rolling? Is you rolling? That was my joy. Is you rolling? So the pills, Percocets, Vicodin, pain pills. I was abusing everything. Alcohol, I was abusing marijuana. And the syrup drink thing or whatever. So, and Xanax. That is crazy because I almost forgot the Xanax, and it's bringing back huge memories. Oh man, it's crazy. But I was on a Xanax heavy, man. Xanax is crazy. And it's just a lot to these pills, man. Like, they when it comes to drugs, they have quote unquote uppers and downers. Damn, I said this was gonna be a quick one, didn't I? 18 minutes. They have uppers and downers. So the uppers, get you hype and up, and like cocaine, for example. And downers, it bring you down, like Xanax, pills. It slows you. So a lot of drug abusers are mixing uppers and downers. This is a big one. And I was into it as well. Mixing energy drinks with, not necessarily mixing it together, although we do that, and I did. Like, I'm mixing rum and Red Bull, like bragging about it. The rum is a downer, the Red Bull is an upper, and you're mixing them. Or, you're taking the downers and then you take the energy drink to get your energy back up, so you could party. Like, that's very dangerous. What that's doing to your inside. Like, the brain is, you take the downers and your brain is telling your body, down, and it's preparing it to be down. These drugs have a certain, you might not feel the effects all the way on the surface. However, these drugs, even caffeine, which is a drug, they have what they call a half life, right? I don't know the full actual facts on it. I do know that a half life. So say like caffeine, right? Say like caffeine has um, a 12-hour half life. That means that it's in your system for 24 hours. So depending on how long these drugs have this half life, it could be in your system for hours, although you might not feel the full effects for hours. So if this drug is in your system for 3 hours, then when you take that upper, then what you're doing is you're tricking your body is prepared for that 3 hour clock, and then you take the upper like no, and you tell them to flip the switch to up. It's you know it's dangerous. The chemical imbalances and the way you're messing with your body chemically is dangerous. So black males, I did stop all of that. Um, Obviously, I still use marijuana. Um, I do abuse it. I would say I abuse it. Gotta be honest. But for my brothers using the pills and falling into this, the Molly and all of that because it's cool, and I'm not sure how I got out of that. It was just really caring about myself and like, listen, I'm killing myself. Every time I'm doing it, I'm killing myself more and more. And it was just developing that self-love. It was just developing that self-love. Like, nah, I'm great. I'm worthy. I'm African. I'm black. I'm beautiful. Um, I have a purpose. I'm needed. I'm wanted in this world. I'm loved. So it's like, how am I doing this to myself? I want to have children one day. I'm not a father yet. All black children are my children, but I'm not a father yet. So just thinking about what these drugs are doing to me and doing to my sperm cells in my body, I just wanted to get healthy as far as eating and everything. So the drugs was the first thing that had to go before you talking about stop eating fast food and stop eating swine and stop eating meat. The drugs had to go first, alcohol included. So, because that's the drug as well. Um, so yeah, marijuana is still there. I'm working on that. I haven't figured that one out yet. Exactly how to make that transition because it's gonna be used. It's gonna be. I love the edibles. It's just the amount of marijuana, like as far as gram wise, that you need, you know, to get, a little square like, piece of brownie is difficult as far as the cost, as well as the time that it takes for the healing properties of marijuana to reach my system. It's just a fact that when you ingest it by inhaling it, you get the effects, within 10 minutes, 3 to 10 minutes, where, because you're getting effects before you even finish, for the most part. Um, Whereas the edibles, or the oil, the CBD oil you put it under your tongue, or, the topicals, it's going to take a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour to feel the effects. Um, they do last longer though, in my experience. I will say that. That's one of the great benefits of transitioning to the correct way to use marijuana if you're going to use it, if you need it. And a lot of us do. A lot of us do for different reasons: anxiety, insomnia, depression, on and on and on. Nausea, even for my family that have to take medication and they're using the marijuana to supplement it and to counteract some of the negative side effects of, the medicines that they're taking. So, my brothers, please, 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 just stop. Stop using these prescription drugs. Stop using these white people drugs. I'm going to say it before I go. Damn it. Stop using these white people drugs. It's not for us. It's very destructive. And at the end of the day, they're medicines. So to use medicine when you're not sick, that's kind of sick. Oh man, real talk though. To use medicine when you're not sick, that's real ass backwards. That's insane. That's crazy. And I was crazy. I was insane. I was killing myself. I was depressed. Still dealing with it a little bit. It's difficult as a black man. Nobody gives a damn about our pain. It's just a fact. You know, our only friend is an ally is the black woman. But you might not have that black woman in your life. So it's very difficult. And then you might have her and she just might not care about your plight that much or really see it, really be looking at it from a black man's standpoint. She might be seeing it from her lens, like, oh, it ain't hard to get a job. Oh, it is. Oh, it. Not understanding the war is different when it comes to you as a black man. So I get that. We don't have, our sisters got support groups and talks, and we can't talk. We can't cry. I mean, I get it. Trust me. However, it's not worth it to be using those drugs and these medicines. You might be a little sick. I'm a little sick. But you're not that sick. We're not that sick. We're not that sick. Confide in your black woman. Confide in yourself, your ancestors, and the warriors that's out there on this battlefront. Shout out to the warriors and the scholars that's on the health battlefront.